So once you got pregnant with me, how did all of you guys react? You, my dad, your parents, his parents. How did everyone react?
So my parents were devastated because you have to remember I grew up in church and I used to sing. I was the choir director. I was
Right,
the super Sunday school secretary. I was very, very active. I was very, very active in church.
right.
So, and my parents had already moved to Georgia. I was still here. And so my parents,
So they were already in Georgia. So you were still there. Where were you? So you were living. We were living in.
I
You were
was
living
still
in
in
Paradise, right?
and so I was still at the house. And my parents were they were just disappointed. I grew up
Mhm.
in a two-parent home.
Yeah.
They finished school. They wanted me to get a job. They wanted me to get married and then have a child.
Right.
That was their hopes and dreams for me, as any parent would.
Right.
And so I was active in the church. So it was a place of shame for me because
Right.
people were so disappointed in me that I got pregnant.
Right. Now it's an honor. Like
Girl,
in today's society, being like a single mom is like a badge of honor. I don't get it,
yeah,
but back then it was like,
you
no, you don't want to be
I was the church girl.
there. Yeah, church girl.
Yeah.
So how did he react?
Well, Michael, I don't remember. You know what? I think Michael has always been the thing that I remember the most. Listen, Michael's relationship with me, I had a difficult relationship with him, but there's some key things that I remember about Michael that shaped my life. Michael always said, Shotty, we gonna be all right. We gonna figure this thing out. You know, it wasn't like, oh, that ain't my baby. He didn't never force me to want to have an abortion. Michael's whole attitude about this was, Shotty, we gonna be all right. And so, no matter what we went through when we liked each other, and we really, Michael always made me feel like we was gonna be all right. And
Right.
that I learned from him. He taught me mental toughness. He
Right.
taught, when it gets hard, you gotta persevere. I remember that about Michael. He pushed me because I had a cushy life. I had never been through anything because my parents had protected me from everything. I mean,
Right.
dad was amazing. And so I didn't struggle until I got with Michael, versus Michael's background was different. And he's had to deal with some struggles. And so he taught me, Michael taught me, Shotty, stop all that daggone crying and whining. Come on, we got to, eh,
Yeah.
you, Michael taught me mental toughness. And
Right.
so the entire time that we were together, when it came to you, he was like, we can do this. So that was a great lesson I learned from Michael.
Right. It was the
That's
mental.
the thing, because we was crazy. He was crazy. And
Right.
Michael was, and I'm going to tell you, I remember you would cry in the middle of the night and Michael would go to work. Michael would still get up with you in the middle of the night. Michael is an amazing dad. Horrible boyfriend, but an amazing, horrible. He was an amazing father. You know, he was. He was.